Notre Dame women's lacrosse captain Barbara Sullivan is just the 9th three-time team captain in any sport in Notre Dame history. As an anchor of the Irish defense, Sullivan earned first-team All-America honors in 2015 and was the only defensive finalist for the Tewaaraton Award as National Player of the Year. Sullivan is one of 4 returning All-Americans on a squad that is shooting for a 5th consecutive NCAA berth. Clearly, there is a lot for Jack and Joe to talk with Barbara about today.
Barbara, welcome. Thrilled to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Season's off to a great start. Went down and thumped Jacksonville. Tell us about your impressions from the first game of the season.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great way to start out our season with a sizable lead. I think it really showcased what our team was capable of. In the beginning, it wasn't as clean as we'd like, but we definitely cleaned it up as the game went on and really showed what we're capable of.
You play critical position for us, not only through your leadership on as captain, but on the field, on the defense, on the back end of this. What are the keys to being effective in that role?
I think it's definitely building a core unit with the people you're playing with, your goalie, who's to the right and left of you, being able to communicate and just really stay as a whole unit. Because if one person falls out of that loop, it really makes the whole defense suffer as a whole.
You talk about, kind of building a unit and the continuity being such an important factor on the defense. You've got a freshman goalie that you're playing in front of right now. Talk about how you've been able to kind of work her into the system, being a 3-year, 4-year player and a 3-time captain.
Yeah, well, definitely, first of all, Sam Jacqueline's coming in as a freshman, and she's playing like a senior. She's acting like a senior, like she's been here for 4 years. And we have a very veteran defense. There's 4 seniors. 3 of us are captains. So we've been there, and it's kind of been an easier transition, I think, for her because it was such a solid unit already that bringing her along just felt natural. And she's stepped up, and I'm really excited to see what she can do this year.
Talk about when you're on defense in women's lacrosse, is the goalie making calls like a soccer goalie does in moving the defense around, helping you understand where people are, or is it more of the defenders that do that play that role?
Definitely the goalie plays a huge role. I think in our sport, at least, like every single person needs to be communicating for it to work, but she'll call out which direction we force, where the ball is, which helps people behind if they're, or say if we're in a face guard, which means that we're taking the other player out completely, that person is just staring at the other person, so if they don't know what's going on, they can listen to the goalie and really figure out what's happening.
Makes it difficult if you're not looking at the ball. So.
Mm-hmm.
Having now watched women's lacrosse for 8 years, I must tell you, I still have no clue what is a foul and what isn't a foul.
Well,
it's just there's a mystery to it that I've got elements of it, but not all of it.
The mystery's almost fun.
Yeah.
you're talking to the person who probably has some of the most fouls.
Obviously, you don't wear helmets. There's fundamental differences between the guys' game, but with regard to the use of your stick, what can you and can't you do as a defender?
Do you even know?
Well,
that's a real question.
I toe the line a lot, You gotta.
Yeah.
But each year there seems to be new rules, and it actually happens that wherever you go in the country, they call it differently. So you really, once a game starts, you kind of have to scout how the officials are calling the game. You know what's totally illegal and what you can do. However, how much body positioning you can get on them, and if you're allowed to push a little bit or if not, that depends on the ref, to be completely honest. You can check. So that means that you have to stay in front, and it has to be away from their head, and you can't go through any type of part of their body. So it kind of has to be behind or straight in front. But that is it's a gray area, and I like to play that a little bit too much.
Well,
but
I'm encouraged by this answer. There's a reason I don't know the rules. They change all the time.
No one
doesn't even know the rules.
I don't know. No, there's actually a bunch of new ones this year.
Oh, wow. Do you know of any of the new ones? Any that you can share with the uninitiated?
You can't have your stick horizontal and push at the same time. That's the big new one.
Can you pull?
Yeah, you can pull. You can pull away.
I'm just around, maybe. That's an interesting defensive tactic. You might want to talk to Coach Halfpenny.
I'm going to try that out on Saturday.
Talk a little bit about we're in the rules realm right now. The rules realm. I'm gonna coin that.
Okay.
The one that
the coin of the realm.
Yeah,
that's very good. You went all the way with that.
All the way. So one of the things that I find most interesting when watching a women's lacrosse game, and as you know, I've been to a bunch, is the clear path penalty, and I don't exactly foul, whatever it is, and I've never been more frustrated because it seems as though you're not even allowed to get between the goal and the person, and I would love for you to explain that to me.
It's very frustrating, I agree. But it's called shooting space.
Gotcha.
Because we don't wear helmets and protective gear and the ball is still super hard and it can cause a lot of damage if it hits your face, you can't jump right in front of the ball. If you're playing defense and you're on them as they're going to goal, then you can be in front. But if you come out of nowhere and just stand in the middle of the path between the person with
sacrificial
the ball
lamb.
yeah, you can't do that.
No.
It's going to hurt.
Oh, my gosh.
The moment I know I really didn't understand the rules was when we had a goal disallowed because our shooter followed through on her shot.
Yep.
That was a
good one.
mystery.
I was
to me.
like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm going to cheer really loud, and you guys are great.
Talk a little bit about the sort of the personality of the team. How do you guys like to play? I know from talking to Chris what she's trying to achieve with the squad. Describe what that's like.
I think, talking with Chris, what she's kind of coined our program as fast, aggressive, passionate, and together. And I think when we do play, we use all of those adjectives, I guess, verbs. When we do play, we're a team, especially this year, that has each other's backs. Like, no one is going to go alone. No one is going to be on their own island. We're playing for each other, and if someone messes up, if someone drops the ball, we want our teammate to be the person behind picking it up because no one's going to be perfect. And I think that's just a huge thing that we've been trying to build for years, and I think this year it's been really it's showing in practices in our first game, and I just hope it continues.
Talk about you were building. You've been building this really for the 4 years you've been here. I kind of cut them off a little bit. Yeah, 5 years, but you only played 4 years. My offense. So you've been building this whole program, and you've had such great success. Talk about where you guys have come over the last 4 or 5 years, and how you've seen the kind of the transition to where you are now with 11 of 12 returning starters and really playing some great lacrosse.
What's been unique is Chris and I both came in at the same time, our coach. So her and I have been through it all together, and especially like each year you can see little culture changes and just the way our team is playing. We're very quick, and our stick skills have gotten way better than they were in my freshman year. I think there's always been a solid culture that I've been a part of, and just the older girls teaching the younger girls. And I love my freshman year team just as much as I love this year's team. And I think we've built a program that is going to be in the top 5, the top 4, and I think we just keep getting better, which has been exciting.
That's great. You obviously this is a sport that has some perennial powers, and you run into them every year.
A lot.
Yeah, and I too feel like the program is knocking on that door and about to become one of them. You get a big test this weekend against Stanford. You guys have sort of gone back and forth on an annual basis between the two schools. Surprised to learn you're planning on playing it indoors. Was there a reason why you why you thought that should be an indoor?
The weather's beautiful.
We were both shocked. So.
The sun is shining. I don't know. Well, I think the snow speaks for itself.
Indiana.
So what challenge does Stanford pose for you?
They're a very similar team to us. They're fast. They're well coached. They have great stick skills, and I think it's just, as you said, we've traded back and forth, and it's always been they've ended our season. We had bumps playing them our first game of the season. It's just been a lot of energy and just not ill will, but it's just a very passionate game between the two of us, and I'm just really excited to get out there and play.
Well, Joel's counting on you getting revenge for the football game.
We're going to try. I got some revenge to get back for us last year, but
yeah.
No. I mean, anytime you play Stanford or
yeah,
everyone has those teams that really get under your skin.
I was going to say, you play an uber competitive schedule. There have to, and so you have to be ready for each and every game. But I know, especially for me, the Stanford game for us, the USC game, those are games that I really look forward to. Looking at your schedule, the ACC, you already mouthed Northwestern in a response to one of our questions. Is there a game or two or even three that you kind of really look forward to, and that's that's something that you're planning on, getting ready for already?
I think every year, at least for me personally, it's Northwestern. They're our rival next door, and beating them junior year was one of the best games that I've been a part of. Luckily, I only played a couple games that year, but that was amazing. And I think when you lose so many times on that on their home turf and your season ends there, I think that always just becomes a part of you and a team that you really want to beat. And we've played them a million times, that you know each other so well, and it's just such great respect between the two teams. But it's also a lot of fun. And then the other ACC teams, like Duke, embarrassed us last year, so that'll be exciting to get to play them again, and Stanford as well.
How did this come to be your sport? Did you play other sports growing up? And why lacrosse?
I played soccer, basketball, and lacrosse 4 years of high school. I was one of those kids that just played everything, and I loved it. I'm telling you right now, if I could go play basketball next year, I would. It's my parents are big-time basketball people. My dad is very similar to you, doesn't really know what's happening on the lacrosse field, even after all these years. But
I've stood with him.
Yeah, he's pretty funny, actually. On recruiting trips, he asked the coaches, why do you do this lacrosse thing? So that was always fun. But, no, they're awesome. It's just huge on Long Island. My high school, Garden City, were perennial state powers, and it was kind of just what you did, and the opportunities were there. And if I wanted to play soccer or basketball, I would have had to commit to that fully. And lacrosse, I had a unique opportunity to just do what I was doing and having fun in high school, and the opportunities came, and I loved Notre Dame, and I wanted to go here more than anything. So
Muffet's office is just down the hallway here. We can check and see whether we can get a sixth year somehow.
Just keep going.
Thanks so much for being with us. Good
Thanks
luck
for
this
having
weekend.
me.
Good luck this year, and thanks for all your leadership of this program. I know how important it's been to getting this team where it is.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a minute.